There's a double-edged sword aspect that doesn't get talked about enough in today's low barriers to entry CPG business landscape. A piece of information about your CPG brand or product can rapidly spread across the internet, reaching wide audiences and becoming popular in an instant. But going viral isn't a strategy. In fact, it's oftentimes second or third order effects from virality that cause so many failures across the CPG industry. Does that mean chasing that next big viral moment is worthless? No, but as Jason Adelman said in this podcast episode, most brands fail when they don't plan for what's next. What happens when your celebrity co-founder's newest movie is a massive hit? Does your CPG brand possess the multidiscipline acumen across brand marketing to effectively and efficiently maximize this halo effect? If not, do you have a trusted, strategically agnostic voice that can help you find the right agency partners and or innovative marketing technology? So while you've likely extracted various lessons from the Monte Foods bankruptcy and other famous business failures recently, don't overlook learning about how to navigate the complexities of today's CPG marketing landscape, as it's becoming the industry's silent assassin. But before jumping into these interesting topics and more, I wanted to quickly provide some additional context. For anyone watching the video version of this podcast episode, you might notice one, the background is different, and that's because it was captured on site at the Beverage Forum. But two, I have a co-host, Dino Sardi, who along with Danny Stepper, graciously invited me again to the new era of this prestigious gathering of beverage industry executives, where I focused on helping them launch a new podcast called Poor Decisions. So do me a huge favor and follow the Poor Decisions Radio handle across all social media platforms, as the podcast will feature weekly episodes unpacking the untold stories behind the world's most iconic and emerging beverage brands. Also, an extra special thanks to Cognizant for not only being the title sponsor of the Beverage Forum 2025, but supporting this awesome piece of content. Whether you are a professional like me seeking cognitive performance or an individual focused on maintaining mental sharpness, Cognizant resonates with everyone striving for brain health. As the gold standard for acetylcholine, Cognizant is not just about supporting memory, it's about embracing life to the fullest. Learn more at the link in the description. But without further delay, here is the recent conversation we had with Jason Adelman, the Senior Vice President of Strategy and Partnership Development at Brand Innovators.
So you and I met 11 years ago at Relativity Media, right? It had to be like 2014.
2013, 2014, yeah.
Wow. And then there you were doing entertainment marketing and like the sports stuff.
We just go.
It's just on, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we'll cut it up. Like the idea is where I think you'll find the most value is probably like Instagram, LinkedIn clips.
Right.
We'll release the whole thing, but
yeah.
the clips I think is really what's going to drive the show.
Yep.
But I'd love it if you could like introduce yourself and tell me what you got going on.
Yeah, absolutely. So Jason Adelman, I'm the Senior Vice President of Strategy and Partnership Development at Brand Innovators. And really part of the largest community of brand side marketers, advertising agencies, ad tech, martech companies. And we put over 200 events together a year, our marketing summits. And I co-lead our strategy and consulting practice. Basically, our job is to help brands be successful. How do we help marketers navigate the complexities of our industry, figure out who to work with, what are the latest innovations, emerging companies that can help them be successful in their jobs. So my team is out there kind of pounding the pavement, figuring out who's really doing the best work out there, so that when they're evaluating who they can, figure out who to work with, we can make our recommendations and kind of become a trusted resource to them. We have been doing it for about 7 years or so. Company's been growing tremendously. We're growing internationally too, which is really cool. So we have a really huge presence in the UK now. Actually, we have an event today in London. It's bringing the London marketers, London brands together.
Shout out Beverage Forum Europe. We're going to be in London October 7th and 8th this year.
Well, then we're going to have to. I'm going to have to help you.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's great. So so that's what we do. So
you guys are clearly driving strategy and helping to vet partners and things like that. Are you guys also really involved in the execution?
So we're not.
Okay.
When it comes to that, we're more on the consulting advisory side, and that's the strategy side of the house. On the event side of the house, we're doing really big marketing conferences and events. We do over 200 a year. We show up pretty big at CES and South by Southwest and Cannes Lions. So right now,
And now Beverage Forum.
and now the Beverage Farm, I'm here seeing my old friends. But it's great because I'm running into a couple of brand CEOs that have spoken at our events and stuff like that.
It's a home game for you. Like this checks a few boxes,
It is a
right?
little bit of a home game for me, but it's exciting. I mean, seeing this space grow from just being exposed working at LA Libations for a couple of years is unbelievable. Obviously, you guys are doing some great work, but just the amount of options that are out there is just phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's interesting, the last conversation that, I went on and on with a guy about box cutters and back belts. So I'm excited to have the two strategists sitting
Right.
here to sort of talk through the strategy side.
Well, I was loving the idea, like, you guys are agnostic and have to understand the whole
Totally.
wide, that's the biggest thing for me is, like, I have 1,000 tools in my tool belt. I don't know when I'm going to bring them out or what order or what sequence those are going to be, but you have to be aware of, like, what's out there. And I think it's tough, I think, with the market across all of these services or, text, apps, whatever it is. Like, a lot of times when a client's coming to me and saying, well, I need, say an ERP system, it's like, okay, well, they maybe know the one or two big ones, but then they don't know all the other new ones that are coming out with AI and this integration or that integration. It's like, a lot of times you have to be an expert in so many different things, or at least be well-versed in understanding, like, what do those things do best? Because as a client, if you understand the client and the constraints and what they're dealing with, you should be able to match make them in a little bit of a way, but it's becoming increasingly tough because it seems like every day something new is coming out on all sides of, the business strategy piece of it, where you guys, at least, I think, are focused on that one little area where I have the unfortunate, I guess, stance of having to be a generalist, of knowing way too many things. And then your brain is just like a big messy puzzle that you're trying to put together in some way that makes sense.
Well, listen, 7 years ago when we started the consulting group at Brand Innovators, I would have said that you really had to have a lot of money in media and marketing spend to break through. And now it's a totally different ballgame because of technologies, opportunities. You can be an emerging company that just knows how to, turn the dials in the right way. And there are enough companies out there doing really cool things to really break through and get noticed. And I'm not even going into the influencer world, which, I have my own thoughts on that. Obviously, it's huge business, but just in the business of how do you talk to consumers? How do you get on their radar? How do you make sure you're not just throwing dollars out the window in marketing and media, but actually, doing just some really efficient things? The technologies and the companies that are running the technologies and the agencies that are doing it it's a game changer now. You can really be a scrappy brand and do some really awesome things.
Yeah, I was thinking the barriers to entry now with anybody, if you have your smartphone and you are able to, say hack the algorithm, and that in itself, when we say those things, it seems so easy, but until you're somebody that's doing that, you realize how difficult it is to get attention in today's world of so much noise. But when you get past that, maybe you hit one, you mentioned with influencers, maybe you hit that one that goes viral, or maybe there's also it's ephemeral, it's short, how do you take that and move it to the next step? You need to understand the intricacies of if it's agency or how do you take that and make that the new baseline that then you grow from, and kind of, especially if you're a brand, you need to continuously evolve that. It's not just, I'm going to be able to, continuously hack something on my phone, or
Well,
eventually there's levels to this.
You're first of all, banking on viral is that's about the dumbest thing you can ever do. But here's where brands fail. Let's flip it on its head. Brands fail when they don't plan for what happens next.
Yes.
So you're about to go and meet with an incredible, huge national distributor. Now you're in thousands of doors. Do you have your marketing team set up for that? Or do you at least have a plan for that? Okay. You obviously hit it big, and you get some celebrity endorser that comes along, and then they come out, and then their movie is the biggest movie of the year, and you got this halo effect of it. Are you set up to be able to be at the speed of culture? And I think that's where brands fail, is there's so much about trying to get to the game, but then they're not actually ready for the game, right? So let me give you a basketball analogy. Sit with me here for a second. Why were the teams in the 70s at UCLA basketball so successful?
John Wooden.
Correct. And what did John Wooden tell them? What was he preaching? It was all about preparation. Okay. Practice was as important, if not harder, than the game. So when they got to the game, it wasn't so much of a stretch. They knew what they were doing. So brands, no matter how big or how small, you have to prepare for the long tail of being able to react at the speed of culture and the speed of commerce. And I think that where a lot of brands fail is they raise a bunch of money, they spend it all, but then they're like, wow, we do not have the infrastructure. We don't know how to respond to this, especially if there's an incredibly viral moment. So that's I think the biggest thing. And then there's plenty of like partners out there that can help you like really prepare for those moments. And I think that's the difference between the winners and the losers.
I also think a lot of times these brands, we probably use brand loosely because I think a lot of times there's people that sell a lot of product.
Right.
Maybe they don't.
There's a lot of products out there.
Yeah, there's
it's
not
hard
a lot
to
of
be a brand. That's right.
And I think that's what a lot of times gets these people in trouble is they because they don't have conviction on who they are and who they aren't. You talk about cultural intersection. Where should they play at? They end up trying to play everywhere, and they get themselves in trouble over understanding where am I directionally pointed at? What am I trying to achieve here? Because I know who I am and who I'm not. A lot of that stuff is also the preparation's not done properly because it's just, hey, we're selling product. Maybe we hit a viral moment. We got to these sales. Now all of a sudden we're stuck here, and what do we do? What do we do next? You get yourself into trouble a lot of times when you're just a product seller. Yeah. I mean, you could do okay, but if you want to have these big ambitious goals, we've talked about Poppy in the last, those types of $1 billion, $2 billion exits. Like these are brands that have forward thinking and the foresight of understanding where they want to go and what they want to achieve. It's not that they just got lucky.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, ultimately there's a lot of smart people out there that are really well versed in brand strategy and sales. I know for me personally, my thing is all about helping people be successful in their roles. Obviously, I want their brands to do well. But on the other side, I also am helping the partners that want to meet and service these brands. And my goal is to help make sure that they're positioned as best as possible in the right room, having the right conversations, that their pitch is buttoned up, and that their marketing teams are positioned in a way that they can be able to receive opportunities for innovation and actually act on it. And so I actually think that there is an entire ecosystem of the preparation of marketers and the preparation of service providers to be successful, not just do the actual work. And I think that's what's kind of gets lost, I think, in this ecosystem. That's where I position myself, and I've been able to be successful in that because my success is driven on the success of others. It's on monetary success. So if I can help a head of brand marketing at Kraft Mac and Cheese find the right partners to help drive new audiences, to me, then I'm successful because they're successful in their organization.
Yeah,
that's what excites me.
No, we're speaking the same language.
Yeah.
Incredible.
That guy was the one talking a lot on this one.
No, but I'm watching you two guys work. Like we're kind of out of my element.
Well,
so
I'll tell you a little brief history. So yeah, so I started working with Dino, Pat, and Danny in about 2013, 2014. They had a strategic alignment with a major film, entertainment, sports company in LA, and they were just launching these new brands and needed somebody to kind of play marketing lead. Through our relationship, I was able to come in, but let me tell you something. I had no idea. My only history was like big entertainment, sports partnerships with huge brands. I had no idea what the beverage business was. Like Dino taught me, just by observing him, taught me a lot. And these guys are the best. And I even only 2-3 years we worked together, maybe so. But wow, did I learn a lot.
Now
It was amazing because I had no idea how the business worked.
But you were kind of like the first chief marketing officer at LA Libations too.
Yeah.
Like that shouldn't be lost. Like that helped us on a trajectory and put us on a path.
A
That
foundation.
I really appreciate.
It brought the foundation. Yeah. It was
No, one of
exciting
the reasons I've been
times.
a little quiet is I'm kind of enjoying the conversation. Like I could talk to you about a bunch of stuff because I know you.
Yeah.
And I like that Josh doesn't take anything for granted. Like it's good.
Right. So I have a question. Like this beverage farm, man, this is amazing.
Oh, thanks.
How does a small brand, it's got some seed funding, maybe they're in one of the big retailers, but only one. Like, how do they break through at a conference like this?
Number one, show up.
Yeah.
Number two is don't quit. Like those 2-word sentences are all about this place.
Yeah.
And like the barrier to entry for beverage farms pretty low. Like buy a ticket.
Yeah.
And if you really want to highlight your brand because you got something going on, we go out of our way to put cold space out there. Like one of the cool things about this show is I think there's almost 30 coolers out there.
I know.
So we had a lot of brands where it's
Amazing.
like, let me
I
bring
don't
in
want to like ruin the
one
display,
door.
but I kind of want to try them all.
Yeah.
Try,
That's what I do most of the time.
try them all because Danny and our kids are the ones filling them. So go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, we're going to work these kids. So help yourself.
No,
You know what I
that's
think
great.
is, and you guys put on events too, but I think a lot of times it comes down to the curation of not only who's on stage, but who's in the room.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of those layers are important. And if you bring in the right people, that becomes invaluable. Like these guys from the smallest brands to the biggest brands, they know they're going to be able to get into a room with the right people at the right time, that they're going to hopefully get a chance to, pitch themselves or do something. And I know last year there was a ton of different deals that were getting done. And I know this year probably even more, but I think that's the point of these shows, of these executive, kind of level shows, is that you want to get the right people in there that you can get deals done. It's not just shaking hands and kissing babies. I think you actually want to get some work done while you're doing it.
Well, that's one of the cool things that Danny says from the stage every year and really highlighted it well, I thought this morning, was this is a place where deals get done, like aggressively produce deals, source deals, chase deals, close deals. Tomorrow, we've got a whole mic drop segment where people are going to get up and talk about, the thing they just closed, not necessarily at the show, but recently, make news. And I think that's what makes these interesting.
That I love, because so many times people don't want to like talk about the success. Like, absolutely talk about the success. That's why we're all here.
This business is tough. Beverage is hard.
Yeah.
I mean, you should be proud of your wins and show off a little bit. Don't kind of like get closed in. I don't know. I know that's a personality thing, but I do think it's great for people to get out there and tell people what they got going on. I mean, that's the point of this.
Well, so much of this business too is you got to work 5 years to be an overnight success.
Yes.
Right.
And it's about hanging around the hoop and waiting for the right opportunity or waiting for the right group of consumers to discover your brand.
Right.
And then all of a sudden you got the world by the tail. But to get to that point, you got to grind. And that's what I appreciate, because I'm listening to you guys talk about people don't celebrate their successes. And I'm like, everybody I talk to has got rainbows coming out of their butt. Nobody talks about the struggles, because this business is hard.
Absolutely.
And when you look at social media, you look at things like LinkedIn, there's very few founders that allow themselves to be vulnerable and talk about the co-packer that just screwed them, the deal that just fell through, the service issues they're having in middle America. So it's an interesting kind of dynamic to sort of sort through the perception from the reality.
I feel like I work in this like bipolar world where when the economy is tough and budgets are being slashed, it's weird because actually the value of me and my team is higher.
Yes.
Like our business grew 4x during the pandemic.
2020.
You know why? We were the only ones in our industry bringing people together through Zoom, and we were bringing connectivity and connection. And so there's inherently a value of being a supporter of industry.
I gotta jump out real fast. I'll let you guys finish up.
Thanks, man. Good to see you.
A few moments later.
Like when the times are tough, I mean, listen, we're living in a time right now where people don't even know what the cost is to really bring in product onto our shores. Marketing budgets are being slashed out of just fear. Consumer habits are, changing daily, especially with not the products you have to have, but, nice to have products versus have to have products. That's a tough beat for everybody. But I think that is the reason to cause for innovation. I mean, not just innovation in product, but innovation in marketing, innovation in sales, innovation in distribution. Because if you don't, you're just going to fall by the wayside. I always look at, struggles in the economy, uncertainty. I look at that as an opportunity.
Oh yeah.
And I think that if you pivot, if you actually make a plan, then you can weather the storms. There's no secret sauce. There's no silver bullet, but that's how I look at it.
Yeah, because chaos to me is.
I mean, my 401k sucks, but
Well, yeah. Yeah, there's always going to be a bad side of that, but
Right.
But I do think, to your point, like chaos is changing consumer behavior. Which, if you look at that and go,
Right.
okay, what are they doing now,
Right.
and how do I position myself to get the tailwind from that?
That's
like
right.
that's, I mean, maybe it's because we're strategists, like we're counterpunchers by nature. Like,
Yeah.
Show me something and I'll be able to adjust and be able to take that and use it to something. But it takes some time for people to get maybe to that place. But yeah, when you were mentioning about, the pandemic or whatever, that was always the toughest thing for me during 2020, where the world around me, everybody was, complaining and whatever. And I had to sit there and go, well, unfortunately, like this has been the best year for business. I mean, obviously, in the grand scheme of things, that's only one aspect of life. But, I was having more clients come in every day because they're worried about this, or they need, some new inputs on this model adjusted, or they have something they've never experienced before that they need to be thought through a little bit more. And that has carried over all these years. And it just seems like we're getting more and more uncertain every day. But it's sometimes, maybe I should take my own medicine, where I mentioned, maybe I should do a drop the mic thing, because I don't talk about it either, but it is a part of it, I think, because we're in the unique position to take even all the bad as like, it's just a data point that we take within our model, the way we think of things, and then we adjust, and we can work with a client with a level head, a stoic mentality, and go, okay, but that's actually, think about it this way. It's a great idea. We could do this, we could do that.
That's right.
Instead of, it sucks in the front end, but we can adjust. We're okay.
Yep.
We're okay. So
but unfortunately, not everyone is set up like we are, and
take for granted our mindset sometimes.
Absolutely.
Our brain can be both chaotic and messy, but also probably helpful in a lot of ways.
Absolutely. What do they say? A jack of all trades, an expert in nothing.
Yeah.
Although I think I'm an expert in some things, but I kind of support that.
Yeah.
That's good.
I keep calling myself the utility man. We talked about sports earlier. Yeah. I mean,
absolutely.
That's kind of,
the utility guy. I mean, look at the LA Dodgers. They've got like 3 utility guys who literally play any position.
I'll play every position. I'm like Will Ferrell during spring training, where he played every position in one day for a bunch of different teams. That's me. That's it. I'll do what I can.
And you're as funny as Will Ferrell. So
yeah, right. Yeah. Oh, my wife's gonna love that one. She's gonna be like, yeah, right.
So I'm getting married in 3 weeks.
Congrats.
Yeah, thank you. And so I'm wondering who I can hit up at the beverage farm to hook us up with just like unlimited beverages.
Oh,
I mean,
talk about that's actually
the only reason I'm here.
That's actually the best reason to attend,
is to get some free beverages.
Yeah, I mean, everybody else that's here to try to land deals at Target and Walmart. No, you're here to try to make sure that your
groomsmen are hydrated, and the bar has some healthy non-alc alternatives for the old people.
This is exactly where I wanted this conversation to go. Dino was trying to keep it way too professional.
Dino was sitting here looking so good in his suit.
I know.
And I was just like,
I'm uncomfortable.
I was uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable. He's always
I've been waiting just for me to have the stage myself, because this is the conversations I have in content.
Square.
Yeah, this is what
when you got a pocket square, it's a whole nother level of uncomfortableness.
He's gonna listen to this footage after. He's gonna go, "Wow, way to go, guys!"
Dino's the best. He's quite an athlete. He does like triathlons and all that stuff. Yeah, he's incredible.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it makes me feel lazy. Unbelievable.
But I hope you enjoyed the first principles thinking that went into my latest YouTube video. If you did, can you do me a favor by hitting that like button? That quick and free action helps YouTube know my content is worth spreading to more people. Also, we're getting really close to reaching my next subscriber goal, and it would be great if you join me on this journey. But to do that, we need to fix the fact that slightly more than 3/4 of you that are watching this video right now are not subscribed to my YouTube channel, and that hurts my feelings. Regardless, I want to thank you for giving me some of your attention and time, and I'll see you on the next one.